Om. Namaste. We are meeting after a long time. In the meanwhile, we visited Mahatar Babaji cave. Many of you may be knowing. We had very thrilling experience. Especially we took up this visit, which is second in this year on the call of the Mahatar Babaji. There was a specific call. I know when specific call is there, there must be something special. That we will speak in a different video. Today, there are some doubts in spiritual path for some members. Enlightenment, if it happens, what are the after effects? To put it summarily, after effects of enlightenment. I will take up the questions one by one and let us see how best we are able to address the doubts which has come from some members. What happens after enlightenment? Nothing happens after enlightenment. We remain as we were. The world remains as it was. Only thing is, the understanding level goes little up. Most of the misunderstandings get cleared on enlightenment. Other than this, we remain as we are. Nothing outwardly appears or could appear, but at a feeling level, it could bring a drastic change within us. If two enlightened individuals are meeting, then that could definitely can be understood by both. But if one is enlightened and the other is on the same materialistic path, claiming to be spiritual, then the enlightened person remains calm. The other person expresses so many things. This is what could happen. When there is a argument between an enlightened person and unenlightened person, the enlightened person will not encourage any kind of argument. Rather, he will sit for a discussion. The enlightened person will go into silence, will not find reasons for no reasons, will find reasons for every no reasons. That will be the situation. Apart from this, the enlightened person will continue to be who he was or who he is. That matters nothing to the world and nothing to the person who has been enlightened. How we go on with our daily life? We go on with our daily life as we were. Only change what we could observe, or if someone can observe, we have gone into little more understanding, little more awareness, little more observing, little more not raising any questions, little more keeping away from unwanted sounds, unwanted disturbances. Other than this, life carries on as is, as it was. How we go on with the religious prayers like going to mandir with family, fasting, participating in abhishekam, etc. As we saw in the previous, here also the same condition. We will participate in abhishekam, we will participate in the prayers, we will participate in the puja, we will participate with the members of the family, we will be part of the club, we will be part of the temple, we will be part of the society, we will be part of the spiritual group. No change. We will continue to be what we were and what we are. Only when enlightenment happens, The enlightenment happens within and not outside. Illumination happens within and not outside. When illumination happens, the first illumination was given as life by Brahma. That will be a dim light in us, that will get more light to see. Everywhere there is light within, we are able to see what we see outside, we will see inside also. Looking at, for example, if you are witnessing an Abhishekam being performed in a temple to a deity or to Shivalinga or to Devi or to Vishnu, then many times we could feel that we are part of the Abhishekam. Abhishekam is being done to us. That kind of feeling also could happen. Because once enlightenment happens, the divinity will not leave any difference between the divinity and the enlightened person. The enlightened entity is divinity. The divinity makes an idol, allows the idol to play on the Mrityubhumi, and when time comes, when maturity comes, when awareness comes, the idol gets enlightenment. The moment enlightenment happens, the divinity resides continuously in the enlightened body, so long the Deha, which is fit for Dahana, come to that state till such time that continue to reside in the so-called body or the Deha. I think you have understood. Namaste. You cannot see anything in troubled water if something is fallen. If the water is not calm, we cannot find anything. The moment the water is calm, it will be very clearer and we will be able to search what has been lost in the water. Whether it is Adhyatmika or spiritual life, Bhautika or material way of life, Dharmika or religious way of life, Laukika or worldly life, whatever it may be, you must have focus. One has to have focus. You must have clarity. For this, one must have peace of mind. Once the mind is calm, the mind is clear like the water, then everything falls before you. One will succeed and excel in whichever field you are there, or one will succeed and excel in whichever field they choose. Aksharamala Dhyana helps you to reinvent your life. Get initiated into Aksharamala Dhyana and reinvent your life. All the very best. Is enlightenment is when you know who you are, who we are. Of course, enlightenment is for that purpose only. Not only that one. In enlightenment, we know everything, we see everything, we understand everything. The only distinction is we do not express until a context comes to express. As such, the question itself contains an answer. We know who you are, who we are. Next question. When will we know that we are one pure consciousness? When we do not know that we are pure consciousness, opposite of that is we will know. The moment we know that we are one consciousness, then the awareness comes. As the awareness engulfs us, the light engulfs us. As a result of these two, enlightenment happens. When enlightenment happens, next is the stage that we know that we are one and not two. Okay? I do not know that this is the right time to ask these questions. In spirituality, let us assume and let us take it for granted also, there is no right time or there is no wrong time to raise any questions. As and when a doubt arises, as and when a question arises, it becomes part of us to throw the question to the right person. If the question is not answered, then we have thrown the question to the wrong person. So there is no doubt in your mind that whether to ask a question or not to ask a question. You are always welcome to ask any such questions. Am I struck or am I in safe track? Please guide me. Am I struck or am I on the safe track? I do not know. We do not know. The trust, the safety, the questions all goes with the trust. We climb on a trekking hill. There is only 2 feet in front of us, 2 feet breadth of pathway. One small slip can take us to valley. One further step can take us to the divinity, closer by one step. But one step in reverse direction always can take us to the valley. Valley may be a burial ground too. So, in each step what we take, one step is closer on a positive direction, one step in a reverse direction or a wrong direction can end our life also. It all depends upon the kind of trust we repose on the divinity. There was a small story I would like to share on trust. On the wedding night, a couple was to travel to an island where their honeymoon has been fixed. When they get into the boat, their self driven boat, they are carrying on. Heavy tides disturb them. Too much of tides could kill them. But the honeymoon wife, tender age, is totally taken by a shock. And she is asking her husband, "Are you not afraid?" For which the husband, who is also new to the married life, takes out his sword from the sheath and showing to his wife, keeping the sword near her neck, asking, "Are you afraid?" She says, "No. The sword may be too sharp, but I have trust on you that you will not kill me. Although there is no escape route for me here, I have whole trust. I have full trust on you." For which the husband replies, "In the same way, the tides may be disturbing, the tides may be threatening us, but still I have trust on the Lord who will sail us to the other shore and we will enjoy our honeymoon." So the trust is one which plays a major part in our life, whether enlightened or not enlightened. The last question is, once we are enlightened, on what we have to meditate? Look at very easy question. We see Shiva, the Mahashiva or Sadashiva, always in meditative tendency, always in meditative pose. Shiva is the ultimate authority, ultimate God. Without Shiva, nothing moves, nothing changes, no dissolution happens, no creation happens, no maintenance also happens. Then, on whom the Shiva meditates. Shiva himself meditate on Sri Devi, the Sri Shakti. So, it is the creative Shakti, creative power. Whether we are enlightened or not, we are to meditate on the creative Shakti, creative power on Sri Devi, because the enlightenment is maybe fulfilled for that stage, but as we discussed earlier, that stage also is Turiya. Possibilities are more, possibilities are millions, possibilities are there, and as such, Turiya is incomplete. The enlightenment also has more possibilities, and it also remains incomplete. Only enlightenment has happened. That is not completeness. It is one part of our journey. Until the Lord accepts us, I have a ticket, I have an entry ticket, it is valid for 10 days, I am on the second day. But the entry has to be allowed by the gatekeeper. The entry has to be allowed by the owner. Until the owner, the Karta allows, where is the question of entry happening, having the ticket? The ticket is nothing other than the enlightenment. Hope you are happy. Om Sadguru Babaji Namaha. Om Sadguru Babaji Namaha. Om Sadguru Babaji Namaha.